What is going on, guys? Andrew Acevedo here, back with another video. And a season that ended about 97 times, according to Mets Twitter. But in a year of disappointments to Mets Twitter, the New York Mets are back in the postseason. Don't know where they're going to be specifically. Obviously, the next 13 games will decide if they're playing in a wild card round or taking that first round bye and waiting to find out their opponent. But the New York Mets are going to be back in the postseason, the third team this season to clinch a playoff spot, obviously behind the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Houston Astros. Clinch in front of a certain team that I won't say that might be in the same city that could have, should have, maybe, they were saying it was going to break the wins record. They still haven't even clinched, and they got a bigger division lead. But besides the point, didn't gain a ground. Obviously, the damn Braves just get the Nationals now, but Mets still have a one-game lead, 13 games to go. But at minimum, they'll be in the postseason in the wild card round. And it's a celebrate. You can celebrate. Yes, and I like what they did. They didn't go full on balls to the wall, spraying everywhere. This is nice. Let's celebrate today. What's up, Kenny? What's going on, guys? It's not, again, job's not done. This is, all right, we got our ticket. We got to get to the division first. And then we'll go do some damage. Obviously, we'll see. We got to fend off the Braves the next 13 games, and then the real damage can start. Obviously, in the postseason. But again, clinching it, getting it out of the way, not having to worry. With the Braves, it doesn't matter. Now, focus, just win games and get your job done. Maybe you get lucky in the Philly, maybe the Braves hit another 2 to 3 game losing streak. You take advantage. That could be the deciding factor for the division. Metsfan, what do you think for a playoff team? Officially,
I think it's just a sigh of relief. I really I love it. The fact that we know that we're going to play past 162 games this year. And that's what I think is something that we've just been waiting for ever since 2016, where we spent, less than 4 hours in the playoffs and, didn't hit at all. It wasn't an eventful game at all, just a pitching battle between Syndergaard and Bumgarner. And then, that 1 3-run shot goes over the wall, and that's it. At least 106, exactly. But you know what? I'll take that any day other, going home with my tail between my legs by game, 130 with the season over. This team fought all year. They battled tons of adversity. There were tons of times where they could have collapsed and they, went through a hole or whatever. But mainly, I think you're looking at the fact that a lot of the National League had a lot of teams that were rebuilding and a lot of teams that kind of just gave up. And that doesn't take away from the fact that they played good baseball throughout the entire year. I think even with those types of slumps that we went through some tough stretches back and forth and whatever. Even a few days ago, I mean, we were screaming at the top of our lungs from getting swept by the Cubs. I mean, it was an emotional roller coaster. It always will be. That's just how it is with Mets fans. But at the end of the day, they got the job done. We know that we are going to be playing past 162 games, and that was the goal this year so far. And then they just got to keep going, and they have to remain focused. And the Braves have held on to this division for too long, and it's time to take it from them. That's what I'm seeing right now. And then we'll see as we keep it going. And you know what? I think it was just absolutely. I think we just it's a sigh of relief. It's not more. It's not a sigh of tears of joy yet, as it was in 2015. But it's a sigh of relief that we will finally see this team in the postseason, not to mention tons of players that we have not seen in the postseason yet, and make their big contribution in the postseason. I know you're a big fan of Nimmo. He was a small part of the 2016 team, but they were not. He didn't really. I don't think he played in that wild card game yet, so we get to see him. We get to see DeGrom back in the playoffs. Knock on wood if he stays healthy. That's it. We get to see a Max Scherzer go nuts in the playoffs, stuff like that. We get to see Pete. We get to see Jeff, all these homegrown guys. There's one guy who is not here, who belongs here. We won't talk about him. But other than that, I mean, we get to see playoff James McCann. I'm so excited for that.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, it's going to be electric. That's all I know. And you know, they just if they keep playing the baseball that they've played for a 90% of the season that they've played so far, they're going to go far, and we know that they will. And I'm proud of this team. I really am. It's time. It's a team that I've definitely had confidence in. From that first month of April, I knew that they were capable of keeping going, and they kept going, no matter how many opportunities they had to collapse.
Yeah, and again, lined up. The big boys had lined up for the biggest series of the year. Obviously, the regular season. Again, we'll see how it lines up. Again, hopefully, if one team goes into a little rut, that can cost you the division. And the Mets have these two tough games to finish with the Brewers. You get Oakland, then you get Miami, and then there's the series. So a 2-game losing streaks now are even more important. I mean, obviously, those 3 games when the Cubs, when the Braves were in that losing streak, when they were in, you didn't take advantage. They lost 4 out of 5 and not taking advantage of it could come back to bite you at the end of the year. But again, we're all looking forward to that series at the end of the month. That's going to be the winner. Whoever wins that series is going to win the National League East, unless, one of the other takes jumps the Braves jump us and then take a little lead beforehand, and then, what happens there or what happens. But yeah, obviously we get to see playoff James McCann. That's the most important thing. Obviously, that was to get James McCann back into the postseason was the biggest thing for the Mets, besides Pete Alonso. That guy's only a home run derby, only a home run hitter that doesn't hit any clutch homers. Obviously, you get Nimmo before he decides to dip at the end of the year. But yeah, again, all the homegrown guys who stuff through. Even though the dark age, there really isn't a lot of guys left from the dark ages. You could do the draft picks were from the dark ages, but the guys who suffered through the 2012, 13, 14 season, it's really just Jake, who even he showed up in 2014, which he really didn't get the sack, go through those dog days, like where it was like David Wright when 15, like he went through the dark ages, then got that celebratory 2015 moment. These guys, not really. I mean, Jake is like, again, the longest tenured Met is Jake, and he was in the minor leagues doing the dark age. But again, not as that maybe, and obviously they feel different. Obviously, teams like the clincher and the division, it was like this both on the same day. But yeah, we'll see. You celebrate again. We'll see what we got here. It turns out to play. I mean, if Astros against, I think the Astros are coming out of the American League. I don't think anybody's touching them. Barring they pull off a Lowell Astros, I don't see a team beating them. So
I think Cleveland's winning the American.
Oh yeah, the city that chokes everything. Yeah, they're going to be the ones that celebratory teams, by the way. But
Lindor is gonna return to Cleveland in the World
yeah,
Series.
that's what. Yeah, I want all those narratives in the game. If Jimenez and the Indians beat the Mets in the World Series, yeah, I really want that. No. Give me the Astros. I want the best.
Beat us?
If Jimenez and them, no, thank you. No, I don't want anything Cleveland. No, I do not want a Cleveland Mets World Series. No, thank you. Give me the Astros. I want the best to beat the best. But yeah, obviously seeing the young guys that, again, the new young core, it isn't like when you had Conforto and Wright and that core in 2015. Hayden was going on. LFGM is right. But again, it's this core. We'll see. We've had our predictions about what Pete Alonso could look like in the playoffs. We both are like, he's either going to be a tremendous postseason player or he's going to be god-awful. Like, he has that then, we don't know what. Now we'll finally get to see it. Obviously, McNeil is Jeff McNeil. He's not really going to go way too high. It's just Jeff McNeil, obviously. The Korean All-Star that F-Dog find that gem in the offseason was great acquisition. The guy last year, I don't know what they cut that dude. I don't know who this dude is now. But and then obviously again you get to see the big two, and that's pretty much if these two, and then obviously the Bassett Hound is at number 3. They don't want the Phillies hope the Mets win the division because after the Braves. I don't know who the Phillies would prefer to face. I think they would prefer to face the Braves because you don't got to go through DeGrom and Scherzer. I think they would prefer to play the Braves, but take your pick. The Phillies are screwed either way. I mean, who knows? The Phillies might choke. It might be San Diego, but we got.
Yeah, I'm confident going into the playoffs, knowing that we can outpitch our opponent. We can do it. Everything's got to fall into place or whatever. But again, DeGrom, Scherzer, Bassett, we know that we can outpitch our opponent. It's just a matter if the offense clicks. And again, like we've said, Pete Alonso has to be the main guy. We've talked about this all season, and that's it. And Pete Alonso, 3-run homer today in the clinching game. And look at that. They did a lot of hitting today. I mean, who would have thought it? They had that whole graphic of like when Pete Alonso hits and when he doesn't. They wins and losses, how he does in losses, how he does in wins, and that pretty much sums up the offense. Now, we also bring up the other point that maybe they need to get another bat to protect him, obviously.
But that's it. That's
an off-season. Again, shut up. That's an off-season thing. But again, that's just how this team is built, and they're gonna live and die. The offense is gonna live and die by what Lindor and Alonso can do in the 3 and the 4 hole, and the pitching's going to live and die by how far DeGrom and Scherzer can take them. And that's what we knew coming into this season, and that's what we know coming out. That's it. So that's what the journey's going to be like. I can't wait to see it. And that's it. I don't know what else to say. What do we got tomorrow? Who's pitching tomorrow?
Cookie against Ashby, I believe.
Okay. So lefty.
No, is it Ashby? Yeah, I think it is Ashby.
So we should see a Vientos start.
Vientos and Darren Ruff gets to play. Yay! Darren Ruff, baby. Great.
You think he plays? I don't know.
Yeah, because they'll put Jeff in right, they'll put him in.
Jeff's gonna stay every day. I mean.
Yeah, they'll put him in second. They'll stick him in left field for some reason. I don't know why they don't just shift Cannon to right and then put Rupp in left. But he sees the ball better.
It shows it. It shows that. I mean, it just shows we need Marte back. That's literally it.
And we'll see the kid tomorrow. We'll see the kid both days. We got 2 left. I think it's Ashby and then Lauer. I think on Wednesday. So.
And we'll see what the update is on Brett Beatty.
Beatty went to the doctor. We didn't hear anything because he was supposed to go to the doctor.
We have not heard anything, but I'm sure we will eventually.
I mean, maybe he got delayed because of that potentially clinching, so him being in the celebration. But maybe they pushed him back to tomorrow. But he was supposed to go to the doctor today. I think I saw it was Regard or who's
part of me thinks that they're going to take a player's health over any clinching. So part of me just thinks that there just really wasn't that much of an update. So
the guy
we saw it was going to take 5 weeks for him to heal. It's been 3 weeks. So, yeah. I mean, obviously we talked about him being ahead of schedule, but like last series is probably the earliest. Last series of the year against Miami is like probably what you're going to see him at the earliest. So he's going to have to rehab. So
as with Lindor, Marte, obviously we need to get him back. We did not get a good update yesterday that he's saying he's still not ready to rip a bat.
Yeah, I mean. Marte and Cannon, all these guys, Nimmo, McNeil. But what I'm saying is that, those are your table setters and set the table for Lindor and Alonso to be those 3 and 4 in the lineup. And that's the offense is going to full on go through.
And the key to the Mets is to go deep in the playoffs and win playoff games. They have to go back and do what they've done all year is they have to get back to that pest. 6-7 pitch ABs. Everybody got to go 6-7 pitch ABs, especially you're going up against, if you're playing the Phillies, let's say you don't win the division, Wheeler, Nola, I guess Kyle Gibson, because Noah Syndergaard's a reliever now. So Kyle Gibson and or Zach Eflin. So, obviously Wheeler and Nola being the big 2, get the pitch count up and, go have fun with their bullpen. And then if you play, the Dodgers or the Braves, Fried, Strider, Morton, Urias, Kershaw, the key to the Mets winning in the postseason is grinding out ABs and getting the bullpen. Yeah, Dodgers bullpen's great. They just got back Blake Trinan, but get starters out early. Tired out their pens in game 1 and game 2 can benefit games 5, 6, 7 if you're playing in the NLDS and CS and even to the World Series. And especially now with the new scheduling, because of course Manfred has to screw up the postseason. No days off. So you're not going to have, after game 3, a day off now. It's straight back to back to back. So you can tire out pens, get in the pens early. It could be a huge benefactor of not seeing, A guy. I mean, you're still going to see your A guys, but then maybe them being tired, make a mistake, you take advantage of it.
I mean, we saw them do it to Corbin Burns tonight, and they knocked him out earlier than he usually gets knocked out. He usually goes 7-8 every single start. So, you know what? I'm confident that they're able to do that, but if they don't do it like they did in the Cubs series, then they'd be in trouble. But
this is the anti-Braves. They suck against bad teams, but they beat up on good teams. So we're not the Braves. So I'd rather take that. Guess what?
Good teams go to the playoffs, man.
Exactly. And who are you playing in the playoffs? Good teams. So, I'd rather. Again,
let's say we'll say we did it.
We fucking did it. You'll get the full-on celebratory. Us doing crazy when the division.
We gotta overtake that team in Atlanta first.
So, again, we're happy. Obviously, we don't look happy. We're both just very angry, Rhino and Nerd. So, but we are happy. We're celebrate today. The job's not done. You pull it up. Or for me, I've got a donut, celebratory donut. Always hits better today, obviously, as a playoff team. But again, job's not done. You still got one more big thing to do, and then you're in the Russian roulette of the postseason. And go deep, because I want a lot of good MLB The Show cards. I want an NLCS MVP. I want a World Series MVP. I want what the Braves got last year. I want like 15 playoff cards. Come on. I need my Nimmo. I really need an upgraded McNeil. I need an upgraded James McCann MLB. I need it. I need James McCann. We all know.
Okay.
With the Rhino take a shot. If I will take a shot at McCarty once they're in the playoffs. If they win the DS, I'll take it progressively crazier the longer they go. I will make that bet. If they win in the DS to get to the CS to the World Series, and then obviously if they do the big thing, I'll do something pretty stupid if they win the big thing. I think we're all gonna do something very stupid if they win the big thing. But again, little stepping stone. Step 1, celebrate. Even the Mets, they didn't go crazy. They kept it classy. Keep it simple. Trevor Williams was soaked. I don't know what the hell Trevor Williams was doing. That dude was soaked. He's the only guy just drenched. Pete Alonso had about 9 beers in his hand, but that's normal. And yeah, again, it's just one. Still got a lot to go. Still win the division, and then again, win the division. Easier path to the World Series. Have your guys set up for Game 1 of the DS is way more valuable than having to burn those guys in the wild card. So again, Braves are on your ass. So one day, you could slip it. You just hope fend them off long enough. But any other final notes? Again, this is a celebration. We're not done, but again, this isn't crazy. This isn't going to be like the once they clinch the division, you guys will get a bigger video, probably on the Mets Weekly channel, where all of us will be here. And again, in the playoffs, you'll get all of us and bigger, hopefully, reactions. Mets fan, you got your final words?
Next step. That's it. Next step. They earned it. They did it. They played like a playoff team 95% of the season, and they're in the playoffs. So that's good to see. And all I can say is that we're going to be starting to work on some playoff type of content on the ESM channel for Mets Weekly. So guys, make sure to stay tuned for that. First one will probably be out will be guys who should not be on the playoff roster, guys who have sucked this season or not. You cannot trust to be on that postseason roster. I've already hinted one guy who's going to be on there if he's not gone. But other than that, that's it. I mean, good job, but it's not finished. That's it.
The job's not done. This is, hey, you passed. Good job, but you're not done. You got when I was in high school, that final week in finals, you had 5 things to do. Each major class. You got the first one done. Cool. 4 to go. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check out Mets Weekly, ESM for all, we're obviously couple videos a week. Obviously, the live show on Thursday. You should check out empiremedia.com for all your New York sports need, not just Mets related, anything involving New York sports. For my channel, we have something in the pipeline, which me and this certain person, we are going to be working on. Don't know when it's going to come out, but I am something I'm hopefully going to be very proud we're going to put together, and it's going to be a little bit of multiversal craziness. I'll give it as that kind of tease. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe, tell a friend, subscribe to this channel. Let's get me. I know I've been kind of a ghost town. Obviously, we'll probably get picked up more in the postseason, obviously in the off season, but I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.